on, everybody? My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been playing drums since 1998, but most of it's been rudimental and concert percussion, and only a small amount on the drum kit. Now, today I'm going to be working on limb independence. Limb independence is where you get your hands and your feet to do different things from each other. So that's the goal, at least. I'm specifically focusing on stuff I'm not good at yet, because in these practice streams, I'm sharing how I practice and what I'm trying to improve. This is not for me to show off. This is for me to actually just show you what I'm trying to do to improve my playing overall. You can find all of the prior live streams with timestamps in the description that shows what I was talking about or what I was working on in this playlist. There's over 300 videos of that. Now, people will often come in and ask me questions because I have a wide range of experience teaching every grade kindergarten through doctoral student and have been drumming for, 26 years. So when people ask me questions, I will often edit those responses down into a tighter response and put it in this playlist that currently has 79 videos available. This one comes out tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for that. But there's over a dozen hours of free drumming tips in here on a wide range of topics. Again, timestamps in the description so you can see different topics in each one of these videos, as there are several tips usually in each one of these. Now, you can find all this on my home tab of YouTube. If you go there, home tab, I've got drumming, gaming, computer science stuff. Like here in like an hour and a half, we're going to do some Horizon Forbidden West DLC. But if you click on the header for the drumming content, it shows you just the drumming playlist. But if you want to find everything organized neater than what I can do on YouTube, go to the link that is at the top of each one of the play-along descriptions. Or if you're on vertical, it is jaredoleary.com/drum right there. But we've currently got 57 chop exercises. By the end of this week, there will be over 60. We've got some in the draft folder that I'm still working on. And then we've got over 900 grid variations. We've got over 100 timing exercises, 55 drum charts, both straight and swung, over 400 marching bass exercises, over 300 technique exercises. And then here's where you can find all the drumming tips, the live streams, some scripted lessons that I've written out, like this one that came out on Monday, which is all about a stretching and massage routine that has helped my hands stay healthy. And then you can even find what kind of hardware I'm using, like what are these low-volume cymbals or heads, etc. Now, I am going to be working out of a book. This book, it's called 50 Ways of Syncopation. It's by Dom Moyo. I highly recommend this book. You can actually find a link to that underneath the books and gear I recommend, or /gear on my website. That'll take you there. But we're going to work on that after we get some motivation from the great Shia LaBeouf. So Shia LaBeouf is going to help get me motivated here. We're going to hide him because of copyright. But he's here in spirit, don't you worry. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. I hit my mic. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh yeah, I am so in the limb independence mindset now. Thank you, Shia LaBeouf. Appreciate ya. Now, in Dom's book, I've got his book written out as a spreadsheet for myself. And in the spreadsheet, it keeps track of like the average level of playing on this. So, for example, let's see, number 2. It's a very basic ding, 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 so you ding, ding, ding. And you read the short notes on snare, long notes on the bass drum, etc. Now, I keep track of how fast did I play it, how was it overall, was it musical, was it technically proficient, did I enjoy it, was I making progress, blah, 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 blah. And over on this far left column, it tells me how I did on average. So I'm skipping all the ones that actually sound good, and I'm just focusing on the ones that don't sound good. So we're going to work on number 16. So number 16 is this. So you're playing short notes. Why was it doing a flam on the trigger? Hey, why are you doing that? Stop it. These aren't the highest quality drum triggers. No offense. They're good for their price, but we could get some better ones in the future. See, it's like doing a flam. I'm just doing a normal. I don't know why it's doing that. Well, anyways, we'll get some surprise volume in there. Whee! Okay, so while you're playing short notes, you're playing a 16th note ride pattern that is in halftime. Etc. And I'm not good at it yet, which is why I'm practicing. So the last time I did this, I did it at 150, and it was mostly technically proficient. Let's try 155. Let's see how that goes. So I'm going to go to the straight charts. We've got straight and swung. They're the same charts. It's just the play along that you actually hear in your headphones if you're using headphones. Will either be straight or swung. And you can't hear it on your end because there's like a timing delay with the mic and the play along, so I just muted it. Sure, let's try 11 through 15. We'll see how this goes. And for every one of these play-alongs, there's over 2,000 play-alongs in drumming tips. You can go into the timestamps and click a BPM, and it will jump you straight to it. One, two, ready, and. Wish me luck. We're warming up with this, and then we'll stretch and massage, and then we'll do more limb independence. Ready, and a go. And. One, two, here we go. Still doing that flammy thing. I tried to fix it. Think I'm just gonna have to tolerate it. One, two, here we go. Cool. It feels like I haven't played this set of charts in forever. All unfamiliar territory. 1, 2, ready, and. Oops. Scoot up the ride pattern. All right, last chart. So far, it's going better than I thought it would. A 1, a 2, here we go. Sweet. Way better than I thought it would. Alrighty. Let's put a new column in. Not enough space on my floor tom. Guess I need a bigger floor tom. Alright, 150. And it was mostly technically proficient. Obviously some mistakes in there, but hey, making progress. I enjoyed it. Not bad. Still overall, meh. So next time, we'll work on it again. We'll continue to practice it. But now, I'm going to stretch and massage. So we'll come back to playing here in a couple of minutes. So first stretch, take your sticks, pull her in, push her out. Oh, yeah. Oh, and I guess I should say, I'm like streaming about an hour early from normal because I have a conflict later on this morning. So I have to end my gaming stream earlier. I was like, well, if I start an hour early, then I can still get an hour of drumming in and 2 hours of gaming in before I have that conflict. Speaking of conflicts, I have a conflict tomorrow morning. No streams. We'll be back on Saturday, though. That's the plan. Unless I get, like, sick or something, so it happens. Sometimes life gets in the way of your best plans. Now I'm going to stretch the underside of the forearm. Oh, that feels good. So I'm just pulling the fingers back a little bit. If you want an even deeper stretch, do 2 fingers at a time. So do your pinky and ring finger, 20 to 30 seconds, and then do the index and middle finger, 20 to 30 seconds. And it feels great. Do, 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 do. And now I'm going to stretch the top side of the forearm. So I'm just doing it on my legs. It goes twice as fast this way. Efficiency. And now I'm going to stretch my fingers doing thumb to thumb. Neighbor's dog doesn't like the finger stretch. It's okay. I understand. Middle finger stretch. Ooh, ASMR experience. Enjoy. You didn't even have to sign up for membership to get that experience. But if you were a member, you would have had it amplified. That's a joke. All right, now I'm going to massage the top side of the forearm with the thumb, and then the fingers are massaging the bottom side of the forearm. I'm going to work my way up and down. My upper arm is tight on my left, so I'm going to also massage up there. Workout, or is like this morning, I was like, that's feeling tight. Pushed it a little too hard, I think, on the biceps. And switch to the other side. Another version that you can do is just kind of going like this, kind of rolling up and down the arm. Now what I'm going to do is massage the back side of the hand with the fingers, and the thumb is going to massage the palm. Switch. And then the last thing that I'll do is massage from the base to the tip of each one of the fingers. I recommend doing this at least once a day, ideally a couple times a day, like in the morning and the evening. Or rather, when you practice, and then again sometime at some other point in the day. So like for me, since I'm practicing in the morning, I do it now. And then in the evening, before bed, I'll try and remember to do another pass of all these massages and stretches. Just to make sure, keeping my hands healthy. At almost 40, I want to make sure that when I'm almost 80, I can still be drumming. That's the goal, at least. Alrighty, now we are going to work on another limb independence pattern. And this one was meh last time. Okay. Let's actually try that one faster. So this one is like deceptively easy. So like you're doing, again, the short on the snare, long on bass, etc. But you're playing halftime feel where you're just going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and etc. But it's really weird to feel it with the hi-hat on 3, for me at least, and while playing quarter notes. So the hi-hat is the foot that is the one that screws me up. So I'm going to try this a little bit faster. So we'll also try it at 155, and we'll see how this goes. 155, boop. And we'll go to, we're still in the same charts. 31 through 35, sure, let's try it. Go into the timestamps of the description so we can pick a BPM that we want. I specifically want 155. It gives you a few seconds to get yourself set up so you can put your headphones on, grab your sticks, flip your mouse upside down, and then it counts you off. 1, 2, ready, and wish me luck. This one's a weird one. It's so simple and so hard. 2, 1, 2, ready, and yeah, I really got to feel where 3's at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to get that hi-hat in there. That's still the hardest part for me. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and I keep putting the hi-hat on the wrong foot, or the wrong placement on the beat. No! Again, 1, a 2, a 1, 2, here we go. So that one was actually written in 3/4 in a 4/4 page. So that one's really weird. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, here we go. Alright, last track. I don't remember if this one's weird or not. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and... Not even close. The answer is yes, that one was weird. I wrote that in phrases of 5 and whatnot. Okay, so overall, it's kind of between meh and needs a lot of work. We'll just say meh again. I was making progress on it, but it's still just not good yet. I might need to just sit with that. It's the hi-hat on 3 just screws me up. I keep putting it on 2. And yeah, just, you know, habits of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And to not do that, it just feels awkward. So we'll keep working on it. We'll make progress next time. All right. Let's see. What's this one? Oh, okay. The Songo one. So this one. Okay. I'm not changing the touch, by the way, on the bass drum. It's just like all of a sudden getting loud. So you play this pattern. While you read through the charts on the snare. Fairly simple, but the open nature of this and not having anything on the downbeat on the feet, it's a little weird. It's a fun one, though. It's groovy when you get it. So if we get it, it'll sound fun. Let's find out. 175 was meh. Do I want to try it any faster? Let's see if faster makes it sound a little bit better. So in general, I recommend not doing that. But for limb-independent stuff, if you go too slow, there's so much space that your brain just, like, melts. At least mine does. And if you compress the amount of space in between each one of the notes, it's less room for mental mistakes while, like, reading through it and overthinking things. So it honestly makes it a little bit easier to go faster. Sometimes. Sure, let's try 41 through 45. Actually, I think I did that one last time. I don't think I did one of the earlier ones. Like that? 16 through 20? Sure. So we did it at 175. Let's try it at 180. There's the number. I can number sometimes. Maybe. You can also do the hi-hat. Ready? And... A 1, 2, here we go. Alright. A little difficult. A 1, 2, here we go. A 1, 2, here we go. Reading errors. Whoopsies. A 1, a 2, here we go. That was fun how it lined up. Each one of the charts I try to have like a different flavor or scent to it. 1, 2, here we go. Brain breaking right here. How many charts do I have? 55 of them. And I plan on writing more, but right now, because like I got the double pedals recently, I am in kind of like a kick for more of that. So we go here under draft. I've got a bunch more like singles exercises, like chugs variations, so I can work on like hurtas and singles and whatnot with my feet. So I was writing those out yesterday, so I gotta schedule those for the member stuff. What's my favorite? Oh, I don't know. I mean, each one of the charts is a completely different beast. But in general, my favorite are the phrases where it blurs over the line. So in what's a good example of that? I'm gonna go to Swung, so it's a little easier to hear if I just do a standard short long. So my favorite is like in the very first chart, the one where I snuck in Susie. That's funny. I do like adding in little stuff like that, but my favorite is where the phrase does not line up with the bar. So halfway through this opening chart, it does that. So I'm gonna do short on snare and long on the bass drum. So like the third line of actual playing 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and here. That kind of stuff, I just think is so much fun. So we have 2, 2, 3, and then you repeat that pattern again. 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. Like that, I think is just a lot of fun to go through. So I really like that. Nice ostinato work. Yes, that is the right term. So the ostinato, for people who are unfamiliar with it, is the thing that stays the same. So, for example, if I'm playing a Bayonne pattern, So the ostinato on the right hand would be 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and then the ostinato feet would be right, left, both, left, both, right, left, both. So this is like your metronome. You can change it up, put like a little bell on it. And then you're reading through the charts with something else, some other limb. That's the thing you're trying to become independent with, is the thing that is not playing the ostinato, the thing that's playing the melody. Hello and welcome on the other YouTube, but yas. Cool. Let's see. So, how was the playing on that? I don't remember. The Songo, I think, was okay. I think? Maybe? I'm going to say yes. Can you ask a question? You just did. Congratulations. Making progress on it. Cool. Okay, so what's the next one? Skipping the ones we're good at. Next one. Let's see. Snare place, quarter note triplets. Oh, okay. This one, so it's fairly basic. Ding, 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 ding. Well, you just play quarter note triplets, and you read the pattern on the bass drum. You have a weak leg. Your kick contradicts. I'm about to roll. I'm assuming there's a second part to that question. All right, so let's try this. So we're gonna read through charts. We're gonna go into the Swung charts, and we're gonna do it at 100. So this one, the hardest part is the foot for me. My foot is still not good because I'm not, great on drumkit yet. One day. Let's do charts 26 to 30. Sure, that sounds great. You should make an Excel for stuff you want to get better at. I highly recommend it. So, where is it? If we go, since you're on YouTube, if you go into here, underneath the drumming content, under the very first one, the drumming tips, there's one about journaling. It's number 74. So when you go to this one, in the timestamps in the description, there's a link to make your own spreadsheet. So when you click on this, it basically says, hey, do you want to make a copy of this? And you go, yeah. And then it makes a copy. So you can put your own exercise name or whatever you want on it. And then it'll keep track over here with the averages over here. So if you just copy this over, then you can be like, well, it was actually meh, and then I played it again, and it was meh, so then it switches this to meh. So you can use that to kind of keep track of your own playing, using this and just kind of copy it and paste it and whatnot. So that's what I recommend doing. And that, again, is drumming tip number... Sorry, it started talking really loud in my headphones. So that's number 74. How journaling can help drummers, and you'll find the link in there. Whoop. Anyways, we're doing this at 100, not at 156. Thanks, though. Good guess. So I don't see the rest of your question, so maybe that was your whole question. That or YouTube blocked it, and it doesn't show me it. So... a weak leg in general, one way to practice it is just work on charts like this and just work through it where you're just focusing on the foot. So play all the rhythms that you see here with the foot. If the charts are too difficult, then what you can end up doing, the link that's at the top of each one of the play-alongs takes you to here. What I'd recommend doing is focusing on the permutations within these playlists. Some of these are currently members first, but they're all scheduled to release for free. And they're currently releasing this month and next month. So these will all be available, I think, by the end of next month, 100% available. But like you can play through any of these charts and just like play through it with the foot. So for example, if you're playing 16th notes, again, going to timestamps in the description. If you wanted to play through this, like let's say at, I don't know, 90, what you could do is just like pick a basic ostinato, like what Tyler was saying on the other YouTube. 1, 2, ready, and so just play something like this, and then read through it with your foot. And it just keeps going through it, and then it eventually adds in and then it does 3s, and then it goes into 4s and 5s. So if you could like play through this, go slow with it, and just play it on the foot, that will help you to develop that independence. So that way your foot does not negatively impact your hands or vice versa. But if you really want to learn just like the general formula that I recommend for how to make it so your hands can be independent from your other limbs, your legs, this video, the limb independence patterns, underneath it, how to develop a limb independence on drum kit. When you go into this, it's got different steps in here. So it shows the timestamps for all the different steps. There are 7 steps. It sounds complicated, but I promise if you just sit there and work on like step 1 for like 20 minutes on something, and then step 2, it makes a whole lot of sense. So I've done this with students. I'm doing this right now in this stream. These steps will help you out. And then it's got a bunch of different patterns that are from Dom's book, but I recommend getting his book, 50 Ways of Syncopation by Dom Moyle. Or if you're more into like rock and like hip hop, R&B or whatever, you can play through Gary Chester's book, New Breed 1 and New Breed 2 are good. And you can find that if you go to /gear on my website, which is the second link in most of the videos. It takes you to here. So this is Dom's book, 50 Ways of Syncopation, and then Gary Chester's book, New Breed 1, New Breed 2. The Amazon ones are affiliate links, so if you're going to buy something off of Amazon and you use one of these links beforehand, it gives me about 4%-ish back from Amazon. So if you're going to buy a car off of Amazon, click on one of these links first, and I'll get about 4% back on that. So thank you for the people who've used that. But that should hopefully help answer your question. You're welcome. Anyways, let's go back to here. You did a video assignment, entire lot warm-up. Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah, honestly, like so Tyler, there's multiple ways that I recommend that people use videos. One of the things that you can do is put it on mute and just watch your video assignment. And that is a very interesting way to kind of like analyze your own playing, because then you're specifically only able to focus on the motion without the sound. Another thing to do is to then like put it on so that you can hear it and just turn your head away. So all you can do is listen to it. So I know of some people for auditions, they will like, or even like to get into Allstate or whatever, the judges can't see what you're playing. All they can do is hear. That can help you to be able to specifically listen on it. But another thing to do, because it's a video, if you put it on like YouTube and you're like playing through something like this, you can slow down the speed to like quarter speed. That sounds horrible. But if you do that, then you can really see like how fluid are my hands, the motion of the stick, etc. But do the opposite of that as well, where you put it on fast forward, and that actually shows you, it highlights some of the macro movements that you might be doing subconsciously. So as a tenor player, one of the things that I noticed with a lot of students is they would move their upper body or their hips. They kind of like do like a cha-cha, and they're not even realizing they're doing it. But if you put it on fast motion and you see like this going on, then all of a sudden it just like overemphasizes those motions that you might not be aware of that you're like doing subtly, slowly. So watch it only, listen to it only, watch it at slow speed, watch it at a fast speed. all of those can help you out to identify more things to work on. And if you really look at it with like a critical lens and specifically look for what are the consistent errors, what are the inconsistent errors, that can help you to figure out some things to play and improve. Another thing that I'll do, since you're talking about like reviewing your own playing to try and get better, is like what I was doing yesterday when I was doing the chut cheese grid. So when doing this, I'll play it slow to refine it. But if I want to figure out like what do I need to work on in my technique, I'll play it faster than I should. And I'll notice, okay, I'm tightening up in my thumb, or I'm using too much arm motion or whatever. So if you play faster than performance tempo, that can highlight areas of tension in your hand, and you'll notice it more than if you're like refining it slow. So that can help you with your own playing. Even if it's like we only play this at 110, try it at like 120, 130, just to expose some of the areas of technique deficiencies at the moment. And we all have them, just to be clear with that. Like in yesterday's Chut Cheese stream, like I try and make it very clear. I have a lot of deficiencies that I'm working on, especially on drum kit. But with like the rudimental stuff, since that's what you're talking about, that can help you out. You need to spend a lot of time on your left-hand book reports. Have you tried the book report on one grid? If you haven't, there are play-alongs for that underneath the 16th note grid. Whee! Right here. So just do it on book report on one. I recommend that. And that'll help you out with refining your book reports. Book reports are fun, but they're, not easy. What was I playing through? What's the pattern? Oh, yeah. Okay. My mouse was, not cooperating with me. We're not doing this at 156. My leg will fall off if I try that. 1, 2, ready, and... Okay, so ding-ding-ding-ding while playing on the snare, quarter note triplet, and reading through the pattern on the bass. We'll see how my foot does with this. 2, here we go. Do I use double stroke technique for 2 bass hits? Yes, I use a heel toe on the double strokes on the foot, which I'll get to here in a little bit when I do the rebound. I'm going to try and work it up off the left, on the left foot. 1, 2, here we go. But with the new pedals, I'm not, set on the, tension yet. So I'm still trying to work that out. How am I talking? Well, you see, when you move air across your vocal cords... No, I get you. It's, my brain is using 100% right now. Actually, I'm AI. Jared GPT. My cell phone alarm was going off. So I was like, all right, I gotta stop that because it's I think it's a copyright Final Fantasy song. I don't want to get a strike. Multi-threading, yes. Got several processors going at once. 1, 2, ready, and. I read it wrong. Yeah, so I've got dual PC going when I'm streaming. One is for my voice, the other's for my limbs. Oh, this is... If you knew Susie like I knew Susie, then you would love her too, love her too, love her too. If you knew Susie like I knew Susie, then you would love her too, love her too, love her too. Oops. Yeah! Alright, that was comfortable. Surprisingly so. Technically proficient for the most part. How I felt, I have fun with it. The fact that I was able to communicate while playing through it was alright. Okay, so I have a feeling I'll graduate from that within the next week or so, and then we'll get on the next one. The next one, yeah, we'll get into that. But we're gonna do Rebound, and so this is what you were asking about with the foot, the double stroke. So let's go back. This is underneath the timing transitions, under the limb independence. And again, a lot of these are currently members first. They're all scheduled to release soon, so stay tuned. I wish it just showed you like when it was going to come out so people could know. But we're going to slow this down. So I'm specifically going to work on getting the double stroke down on the left foot. So what I'm trying to do here, whoops, wrong button, is do a heel toe. And it's not actually the toe, you're not ballerinaing it, but it's just, how it's kind of called. So heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. So the technique I'm trying to use is how Jojo Mayer describes his technique for moving like this, as opposed to a swivel technique where you're going side to side. So I'm going to try and go heel, toe with the left foot. You're very well practiced. Yeah. No, so the second part of it, saying people are talented. I actually did a content analysis on the historical use of the word talent in a journal of education research for music education, and it was like a couple decades worth of talent of use of the word talent, and was specifically trying to find, did they use it as in a supplement for the word skill, or as an innate ability, or as like you couldn't really infer what they implied by it, because the paper, it was important to figure out whether or not researchers discussed music in a way that was immutable, and you're either born with it or you're not, because I have unfortunately met some music educators who feel that way. And it was a really interesting content analysis and kind of like exploration of how researchers use that word. But having done actual research on skill acquisition and talent and whatnot, and expertise development, it is 100% like determined by the amount of effort you put into it. There's a process in the brain known as myelination, which is like where your neurons, like the axons that connect the neurons, go from like a single lane road to like a highway in terms of being able to send information. So it expands. It goes from like dial up to broadband. And the process of myelination is that expansion to make it so that it's easier for you to think about things. So that like when you're asking about me talking while playing, that was my response, although it was a joke. The reason why I was able to do that is because of the myelination process, and it takes about 50 hours to develop that. So the people who have the so-called innate abilities are indistinguishable from the people who so-called do not have innate abilities after about 50 hours, where you develop that myelination working on a specific skill. So like if you're working on like trying to get like this pattern down, it might take you about 50 hours, and then you'll be able to get to the point where you can talk, like I'm able to do, while like reading through a chart, etc. So some of the discourse around skill acquisition is that the people who have that so-called talent actually just developed that skill without realizing they're developing the skill. So I had a tenor player who was naturally very good at just doing crossovers. Like she nailed it every single time. And I was just like, this is your first time playing the crossovers. How is it so comfortable for you to move your hands in this kind of motion and not have it affect the other hand? And she's like, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what's happened. And I was like, well, this kind of flies in the face of the research on like skill acquisition, like how you're able to do this. It's very weird. And so she like went home and thought about it, and she like came back to the lesson like a week later and was like, you know what I realized is I did a lot of patty cake as a kid. And so she would do a lot of this kind of stuff, and like the cup passing games where you'd like move like this. And so she's like, so I had practice with moving my hands as crossovers, either doing patty cake with like multiple people or doing the cup passing games. And so she's able to figure out like how she developed the skill of doing crossovers without actually working on crossovers. And that was a long rant. I thought it was interesting, like when she discovered it, and I was like, oh, that totally makes sense, because it's a similar idea. You're just holding sticks as opposed to holding cups or clapping hands or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to work on this on the left foot. So the left foot, what I'm going to do is like snare, snare, bass, bass. And I'm going to try and get that double stroke on the foot. Wish me luck. So snare, snare, bass, bass. Snare, snare, bass, bass. Nope. Too fast for it. So it's supposed to sound like... And I can do that fine on my foot, but not on my other foot. So let's slow it down. This is what practicing looks like, folks. Don't just sit there and struggle with something that's too fast for you. Slow it down. There's a reason why these things go as slow as 20 beats a minute. It's to help you and I improve. 1, 2, here we go. Like yesterday, we were playing a 40. Why is it not? There we go. Okay, I could go slower, but I think this is just, like, at that gray area of tempo, so I'm going to stick with it for a little longer. The 16th notes are a little wonky. Oops. I started playing 8th notes. I'm not getting the heel. Something about it is off. Let me pause this for a second and try and figure this out. Again, trying to go boodum boodum with the foot, heel toe. Like the right, the motion it's so much more minimal, whereas my left is like it's just like clubbing like a caveman. Very unrefined. We'll continue to work on it. Are you ready? And Ready? And now this is about 40 clicks slower than my right foot can get, but, you know, having never worked it up off the left, this is better than I thought it would go. Still, obviously, a lot to work on, but that's why we're practicing. Ah! Welcome back. That's the plan. Hey, look at you. I think that's my custom emoji. I don't think YouTube will let me add it yet. I think I need to get like 1 or 2 more people to like sign up for membership. Yeah, it doesn't have it on it yet. But there's a do it one that I'm going to have, kind of like this GG emoji. And it just says do it. Do it! Yes, you can! Make your dreams come true. I want to make it animated though, so it has like the full the full thing. Okay, so progress is being made, but still not there. We'll get there. Tyler, did you hear my rant about the tenor player and patty cake? It's a fun story for tenor players. Oh, wow. Got the full array of emojis. Which one do I want to do? Chug with hurt us. Yeah. No, not at that speed. No. You did not? Okay, so I was talking about how there was... Hello, Salmon. Or Solomon? Sorry, the text is so small I can barely read it. So I was talking about how a tenor player was like, she was just naturally able to get crossovers down. And I was like, what? How on earth are you just like so good with crossovers when you've never done them before? Her first time playing through it. And because she had never practiced it. Like, this goes against all research on how you develop skills. Like, you should not just be like born with the ability to be able to do crossovers like that. And so she went home for like a week and thought about it, came back to the lesson the following week and was like, it's because I did patty cake. And so she did a lot of games where she was in groups of people where they would like do a lot of crossover stuff like this, and a lot of those cup passing games where you would turn the cup over and do stuff like that. And so she had all this work practicing crossovers and whatnot without using sticks. And it's like, oh, so it prepared her to be a tenor drummer. It was like, that's cool. All right, so chug with hurtas. So we're going to do this with our feet. What am I doing? Hitting a drum. What are you doing? Let's try this at 40. Just with the feetsies. Trying to work that up. I would love to see clips of quad subs doing that. Okay, so I'm doing heel down entirely. Oops. Okay, now I'm going to do heel up entirely. 1 and 2 and ready and go. E and late. Still get that like double every now and then. Let's try this faster. I'm curious where my technique is going to break down. This might be too fast, so, you know, we can always go back in time and pretend like it never happened, but let's try it. 2 and 1 and 2 and ready and go and yeah, we'll do that in like 20 minutes. Whoops. Please blast beat to this. I can't do the hands yet. We'll get there. Here we go. I was like, is that a spider hanging from my drum module? And then, no, it's like a mini hair clump from my dog. Let's try that again. Okay. So, the tempo's okay. It still feels weird. This is, you know, difficult for me. But we want to be able to play bleed, right? And... Okay, heel up. 1 and 2 and ready and go and. So what's interesting is the drum module's not picking up all the notes when it's heel up, but when it's heel down, it picks it up better because it's like coming off the head more. So I don't know what that's up. Oh, what's up with that? But we'll continue to practice it. Okay, so speaking of Horizon Forbidden West, we're gonna play that here in a little bit. But if you wanna play along to these exercises and work your feet up, on my home tab of YouTube, you can find all of these in playlists under the drumming content. Just click on the header and boom, it shows you all of the thousands, plural, of free play-alongs and drumming tips. But if you want to find it organized neater than this, go to the link at the top of each one of the play-alongs, jaredoleary.com/drum. Takes you to here, 57 chop exercises, over 900 grid variations, over 100 timing exercises, 55 drum charts, straight and swung, over 400 marching bass, over 300 technique exercises, and over a dozen hours of free drumming tips. All of the live streams, scripted lessons, blah, 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 blah. Now, the exercises that I was just working on for the feet, you can find that under technique underneath endurance and speed. I've got several more that I will be scheduling for release later on this week. They're just in my drafts folder, but these are great to work on for double bass. So I'm going to continue to work on them. And, you know, your hands. That's kind of an important thing, too. But I'm going to call it here, and I'm going to get ready for some Horizon Forbidden West. Hopefully I'll be on in about 15 minutes. It's a little bit later than I had planned. And then I got to end earlier than normal today because I have a conflict. So that's why we're drumming early. But I appreciate everybody I can't speak. Coming in. I appreciate everybody stopping in. Some good questions on here. Solo? Okay. This is called John Cage's 433. Here, I'll give you an overhead so you can see it. It goes like this. We're going to be here for a while. Second movement. Third movement. Second movement's very short. Anyways, look it up if anyone doesn't know what John Cage's 433 is. It's funny. But I'm going to call it here. Thanks, everybody, for checking all these free resources. If you enjoy it, just share it with somebody else. We've got over 400 more currently scheduled for release. And, more to come because I like creating content. And I'm going to make more of it. I know it's weird. My wife's, shocked. Anyways, I'm out. Goodbye.